Well, hello. I wanted to talk to you about reading responses. And so let's go ahead and look at reading response help. You're going to find that in week number 1. And it says, let's start with the whole gist of it is that you need to complete the reading assignment before you start. So that means you need to annotate the reading. In addition to that, you need to talk to the text. You want to give yourself time to think about what you've read, particularly looking for the author's main point. You want to identify the topic. You want to ask yourself, how does this information relate to other information that you've heard on that particular topic? So once you have that information in mind, then I want you to think about what was the most significant thought as you were reading. How did this information relate to you or relate to what you've heard about that topic? So let's go ahead and look at what the directions say for the first paragraph. It says for the first paragraph, I would like for you to write an 8-sentence paragraph. I will count your sentences. Okay, so keep that in mind. Your paragraphs should have 4 parts. A topic sentence, that's going to tell me what the paragraph is about. Identification of the reading, you're going to tell me what the author's name is, the title, and the main point of the article. You're going to provide support. I need some form of documentation that is a direct quotation relating to the content that you're talking about. And then your analysis. Every paragraph has 4 parts. Topic sentence, support, well, identification. My identification would be that sentence that explains what you're talking about in your topic sentence. And then you would have support in your analysis. Your analysis would be explanations and examples of your topic sentence. Okay, so to give you further information, that's why I provided this information. And it tells you what the topic sentence does. The identification of the reading, and I give you that information. When you identify the author's main point, pay attention to these verbs. I don't want you to say the main point is, the author's main point is. I don't want you to use that type of language. What I would prefer you do is to use verbs like argue, posit, discusses, examines, strongly believes. That indicates to me that you're going to be talking about the author's main point. The support is a direct quotation from the reading that is evidence to what you said is the author's main point. Now, once we get into documentation, I recognize that for this particular assignment, you may not quote it correctly. The only thing that I ask is that you do your best. For this assignment, as long as you've done the assignment, you have 8 sentences. You have the 4 parts that I can clearly see. That ensures that you have the minimal points, which is 14 out of 20 for a reading assignment. Okay? Now, for those of you who want to get 20 points, I need you to have the correct main point. Okay? So if you have the correct main point, you're automatically going to, and you have the other parts there as well, that's going to give you 20 points for the assignment. So the lowest grade you can get for this, if you complete it following the directions, 14, which is 70%. Okay? All right, so I want you to read this information. Okay? And then I have provided for you an example of what I'm looking for. So as you can see, in paragraph number 1, we have a topic sentence. Many people have a desire to graduate college one day. However, without the proper motivation, this desire is simply a dream. So this tells me what we're going to be talking about. Okay? Sentence number 2, author. And then I've identified the author's name. I've identified the main point. I've identified the title of the work. Okay, and that's what I need you to do. The next sentence, support. It's a direct quotation, and it's just a small direct quotation. It also has the author's name in the quotation, or in the sentence, so we only need the page number at the end of the sentence. Now, for those of you who have never cited anything using MLA format, go ahead and use the online handbook for help with that, or send me an email and I can get you that information. At any rate, that information is available to you. I just need some direct quotation supporting what you've chosen as the main point. And then the rest, I think you can clearly see, would be the analysis. You want to make sure that you have 8 sentences. So your topic sentence is 1. The sentence that identifies the information and the main point, 2. Your support would be 3. And your analysis would be 5. Okay? Or a total of 8. Now that second paragraph, now that's going to be kind of interesting. So if you notice, that first paragraph is going to be focused on the author's main point, showing me that you identified the author's main point. Okay? Second paragraph, I want to hear what was compelling to you. What did you see as you were reading that reminded you of something? It could remind you of a book. It could remind you of something you've seen on television, something you've seen in a movie, something someone told you. Okay, so I'm looking for some kind of personal connection to the reading. Okay, so how do you do that? Let's look at it. So your topic sentence is going to consist of 2 parts, or 2 things. Identification of the portion of the reading that connects to you and why this portion of the reading relates to you. Okay? And I've given you an example for all of these things, so you don't have to think, oh, no, what does she mean? Okay. So a connection, and I've already told you what that is. The next sentence, you need to offer some sort of support. So where in the reading are you talking about? And then cite it. Tell me what page number you can find that information. So here is the example. Once again, this paragraph is 8 sentences as well. You have a topic sentence, the portion of William's article where he described how his friend helped his, where he described how he helped his best friend was compelling to me because it reminded me of the time when my godfather helped me to overcome my fear of writing. So some of you may have noticed that the first paragraph is in 3rd person. He, she, it. This paragraph is in 1st and 3rd. So anytime you're referring to yourself, 1st person. Anytime you're referring to the writer, 3rd person. Okay? So I know there are going to be point of view shifts in that second one, but in that first one, no personal point of view. Okay? All 3rd person in that first paragraph. I hope that makes sense. Okay? All right, so please look at this information before you go to, let's go to it. Reading response number 1, which is going to be due on Sundays. All of the reading responses are due on Sunday. And so I'll just go over briefly. Complete the reading assignment, which is Angela Duckworth's Grit, one of my favorite reading assignments. I hope you enjoy it. Annotate the reading and talk to the text. As you're reading, you should be asking yourself, where have I heard this information? You should ask yourself, okay, what does this information mean for students in English 101? What does this information mean for me in terms of all of my college courses I endeavor to take? Okay, those are the kind of things you want to write in your margins. Okay, please tell me you've watched those videos that I've provided for you on talking to the text and annotating. Okay, and then it says step number 3, please compose 2 paragraphs identifying Duckworth's main point. We've already talked about paragraph number 1 and paragraph number 2. And for those of you who needed a reminder, I have paragraph number 1 and paragraph number 2. And then you're going to submit your information right after that. This is the reading assignment right here, okay? And someone already did it, so yay! Hopefully that person did the reading before they started. At any rate, I just want you to have a great rest of your day, and I hope this information helps you. Talk to you soon.